hello everyone. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for tuning in to Real Estate with Ryan. As always, I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, owner, founder of Hometown Realty. And every week, we jump on the airwaves to bring you Real Estate with Ryan, the up-to-date information on the real estate market in your backyard. Me and my wife do the show. Look, unluckily, she's not here today. She's not feeling well. So if you guys are dealing with allergies and all those different things that are going on, that seems to have gotten her down the last couple of weeks. It's been hard on her. You know, East Tennessee, we're known for some of the allergies, and it's that time of season. I think the weather never knows if they're going to be hot or cold or what's going on. So just that time. So she couldn't be with us. So sorry she couldn't be here and join us. But I'm doing the show. You're in good hands, and we've got a great show for you. So it is that time, and we have a lot of congratulations to talk about, things that we want to congratulate our great clients. So it's been a busy, busy couple of weeks, and we have some congratulations from our great clients. So let's talk about some of our clients. Congratulations to the Browns on their new purchase, new construction. So excited to help them, and excited to see their family move over close to us now. So that's exciting. Chestnut Hill, congratulations. Tongue-tied. Congratulations to Mr. Martin. South Lake Drives, the Salmons, congratulations on the sale of their homes. Santa Donato, congratulations to the sale of their home. So excited to help them get their home sold here in closing in the next couple of days. Mrs. Klotz, congratulations on the sale of her home. Mrs. McGrew, after being on the market with several agents, not getting the job done, we were able to come in, Miller's Landing, get it sold for her the second time and get it done. And we're closing the next couple of days. So thankful for that opportunity. Our great client, Mrs. Walker, out there in Dry Fork Valley, congratulations on her farm selling. So excited to be in part of that process. Our great buyers in Artesia and so many more. So we'll talk about those. We've got new listings on the market. We'll run through those. There's a lot of activity, as you can see, so we can kind of get into our show. New listing in Farragut on Peachview Drive. Make sure you check out our website for that. New commercial listing out on Knoxville Highway. That is a must-see. New listing in Peterson Road, residential. New luxury listing waterfront on Maloney Road, deep water. Only a couple of years old, really open floor plan rancher. That is a must-see. New listing in Loudon on River Road. Great property with some acreage, so that's a must-see. Murray's Chapel Road, more land, commercial. Crosswinds Drive and Concord Park in Farragut. Don't miss that. That's coming on the market here in the next week. Almost 6,000 square feet, so great opportunity. If you want to live in the Farragut district, that one's going to go on the market pretty good. Condo coming in here in West Knoxville, Mills Way. Make sure you check that out. Steer Creek Road, another luxury property that we have, almost 200 acres. I think maybe owner's going to go about 100 acres with it, but there's more land available if you need it. So that's going to hit the market on the spring. And then, of course, we have our South Highway in Lenoir City that's going back on the market. They did a little renovations. They pulled it off and will be active here in the next couple of days. So excited for that. Woo! You can see we've been working over here at Hometown, so we've been very, very busy. So thankful for our great clients that the market is upon us. It's just that time of the year. So I wanted to go over some stats for you, but first, I want to let you know about our show and what we're going to be talking about. We felt like it was appropriate time of the year to talk about this, and there's so many things it takes to get your home on the market, and what does it take really to get the exterior, your curb appeal, right? So we're talking about curb appeal, how to create the maximum curb appeal, maybe the least amount of money. So many times I have my clients talk to me and say, Ryan, what can we do to get the property on the market? What can we do to maximize it with the least amount of value? So we're going to talk about this, tips all the way throughout the whole year, different segments that we're going to do the show. And we're going to talk about things that you can do with minimum amount of money, but give your home the best value. So we're talking about curb appeal today. We're talking about things that we can do to brighten up that curb entrance. Remember, guys, if they pull up in front of your house and they don't like the outside, more than likely they're not going to request a showing. They're not going to call me, or they're not going to call you to look at it. So curb appeal is everything. In today's footprint, we have so much activity that goes online, but a lot of people forget the drive-bys. We call it foot traffic. And so many people forget those foot traffics, and we're going to talk about the curb appeal to maximize that so that we get them in the front door. So let's talk about a couple of things before we go into curb appeal, okay? We're talking about price range stats. I want to go year over in and kind of give you an example of what our luxury market's doing in Knox County from last year to this year. 500,000 over total sales. We got about 823. And this is just in the Knoxville market. And then condos, we got about 125 since last year, kind of comparison. I want to go over some other numbers that are, we've got about 4941 active listings in the market right now, current. Average sales or list price is about $227 is our list price, and our average sale price is about pretty close, $226,847. I want to go over some stats. You hear a lot of things in the news on what's going on in the market, up, down, where the interest rates are at. Is it a seller's market, buyer's market? Really hard to tell. We're in a little bit of a transition market where I think you see across the country certain pockets are making adjustments. But when the Feds went back and did a little adjusting on the rates, we're seeing more buyers come back into the market. That raising of the rates kind of puts somebody, or some of the buyers that are in the market space, that kind of bumped them out of certain price brackets. Remember, obviously, the lower the rates, you can afford more home and maximize on the tax deduction, so people are taking advantage of that. Usually what we see on some of our luxury or our move-up buyers, that affects the move-up. It's a domino effect. So we have the home that somebody has to sell when they're moving up, and they're not getting that activity, or buyers are affecting that price range where they're having to make adjustments, then that usually affects that move-up buyer, and it's kind of a trickle-down effect. But let's go over to Knox County, run through some of those numbers. Last year's sales, 11,251 comparison. This year, 1,952. All right, we're down about 2% overall on active listings. Sold listings, 7,973. This year, 7,714. So we're down about 3% on solds. So actives are down about 2%. Solds are about 3%. So not a big adjustment, but you're seeing a little bit of a decline there. Obviously, this time of the year, the numbers are always going to be skewed a little bit because it's spring, because it's the market where everything is going to start going on, and during that time frame. So you're going to be a little bit of an adjustment there. Now, the list price to sales price, last year was $231,284, and then this year is $251,259. So we're up about 8 percentage points. So everything's costing more. And you buyers, understand, if you're out there looking, you're feeling that crunch, and I'm with you. And so a little bit of adjustment there. We'll see how that goes throughout the market. We'll hit Blount County. We'll just go over the sales so we can get right into the show. Blount County was about stagnant, 2170 homes sold. 2187 year over in, pretty consistent. Average sales price out in Blount County, 236,325. Okay, Loudon had a little bit of a decrease, about -4%. 985 last year sold. This year 941. Not much of an adjustment on that. So those are two counties that we hit, two or three counties that we hit: Knox, Blount, and Loudon. The rest of those, we're going to put them on our website, ryancoleman.org. We have all that information there. If you're looking for home luxury information, we've got our vlogs on there. We've got our podcast, and we got some information about us. So if it's got some good information after the show, or if you hear this on social media, take a second and go to ryancoleman.org. We got all that information there for you. So let's talk about curb appeal. What are we going to do to maximize our home's value? We've got some of our tips from HGTV and some other contributors. So they've contributed to this, and it's very helpful regarding that. Biggest thing, first thing that you can do is kind of bust, that's right, bust or blust, not really sure which. I like blust, man. How about bust the clutter? Really, you got to go throughout, and through this process, we've had a lot of leaves. We had a lot of process where things are not looking the freshest, but it's turning around and things are starting to bloom. Always beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but we need to imagine the home as it was their own. The last thing that you want to do is walk up to the curb appeal and see a project or a yard project. A lot of buyers are making understandings that if it looks like on the outside so cute, and the landscape is mulched so perfectly, and the flowers are so clean, and everything looks well, hey, they can't wait to get inside. And that kind of creates a lot of excitement. make sure that you do a thing, that you get rid of the bikes, the skateboards, trash cans, things like that, things that you just don't think about that may declutter and take away from the presentation on the front. Any kind of plastic, branches, leaves, dog waste, you think about it. But, if you're selling a home, these are things that you have to make sure you got the right presentation. And then, of course, any kind of pots or outdoor furniture. We're coming on a break, and we're going to finish up on the second half, so stay with us. We're going to talk about what you need to do to declutter your home for the market that's coming up here in the spring. Stay with us. You listen to Real Estate with Ryan, and we'll see you on the other side of the break.
When it comes to the real estate market, turn to the experts that focus on you. With over 20 years' experience, Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty knows what it takes. It's the right marketing. It's the right exposure. Ryan and April will use their expertise each step as they guide you through the home buying and selling process. Ultimately, it's about results.
You need someone you can trust that is committed to you.
You have a lot of choices, but the choice is simple. It's Hometown Realty.
Is it time for a new place? Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty has the experience to sell your home quickly and help you find the right home for you. And if he can't sell it right away, he will buy it himself. Life changes, and sometimes your home needs do too. Buying or selling, turn to someone you know you can trust. Ryan Coleman at Hometown Realty.
Hey, well, thank you guys for coming back to Real Estate with Ryan. As other side of the break, we were talking about curb appeal. Yes, curb appeal, what you need to do to get your house ready for the spring market, the summer market, what's going on. Got to give it the best presentation. We talk about a business and sales. You got to be dressed for success, right? Well, your house has to be dressed for success. It's just that time of the year. And even though there doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of competition, or you may hear from other agents or the news of, oh, it's going to go in days, don't prepare that way, because we're going to see a lot of inventory hit in the market very quickly. And we've got 15, 16, maybe 17 properties round about that we've listed in just the last week. And so you're not seeing a lot of this shadow inventory, a lot of these properties that are not on the market. And people are not talking about that. East Tennessee's weather always affects, depending on whether we get snow in April or March, right? With those things happen here, or that we get a lot of water issues or things that have happened in the last weeks, they delay the market. And the last thing that you want to do is look at the market a couple weeks ago, and then all of a sudden we've got a flood of inventory in the market. What happens with that flood of inventory? Buyers have more choices. And this is why we need to definitely make sure that we're prepared in case it goes a couple weeks longer, that we got the right presentation starting. We were talking about clutter, making sure that we got anything from the outside, bikes, patio furniture, declutter, dog waste, anything that we can do. Yeah, I know dog waste, but I've got dogs, and trust me, the last thing you want to do is walk around in the backyard with a bunch of stuff back there, right? So we want to have an experience. Sometimes we've got bikes, we've got furniture that just is looking old and dilapidated. Get it out of there. Chunk it. It's not the right presentation that we need to have. Now, we talk about painting. Freshen your entry. My wife's real big on this. She's big HGTV, and she watches all these colors. And we're doing a renovation now, and a lot of our renovations that we've done are put back on the market. She's always changed that front door with a nice color, spring color, color that gives it some pop or character, that what we like to talk about. And that really brings freshness. Guys, who it appeals to. It's to our ladies. It appeals to the ladies. And obviously, if the ladies don't want to go see the home, it doesn't look inviting, then, we're not going to go see it. So we need to make sure that we're appealing to that audience. Make sure you remove damaged screen doors, things like that. If it doesn't give it a look, let's get some new ones. Touch up where needed. You don't have to repaint the whole house. Make sure that you're looking on some of the different windows, if they need to be touched up, around the window frames, things that will give it some characters. Your hand railings, if they need to be painted, those are really big. Look at our metal knobs and fixtures. See if we can polish them up, maybe get some new ones. That is a big deal. We talked about the color. That's so important. Living spaces is something that's overlooked. In the house that we're renovating, the guy that owned it before has a lot of landscape, and it's almost too much. We want to make it simple. So we use some nice rock around, we use stone around to accent. And these are two things that I'll talk about that are very valuable. Make a outdoor living space. So we have a nice little area over to the left where kind of really don't know what that space would be used for, but we're going to add a bench and some seating. So on a nice day like today, to sit out there, have a cup of coffee, have the dogs out, have the kids out in the front yard, adding that bench or some chairs out there really adds to some character and is definitely appealing on a low budget, right? We don't talk enough about outdoor lighting. Outdoor lighting can be done in a very, very budgeted way. We're also going to add some outdoor lighting on the property that we're doing, and it can be done with solar. And at night or at dusk, as we just had daylight changing, and adding some outdoor lighting to that dusk feel really gives that home some character and for low budget. So that is a great option for you guys, is if you're thinking about possibly adding some lighting, how about at least around the walkway or the steps up to the front is excellent. I've seen them around accenting our plants. So if you have any garden beds or things out there, adding one or two that gives it some pop from those lights is another plus. Paint trim, we talked about that. Fixtures. So we have some light fixtures out in the front. We're changing those to solar, different things like that. Changing the front lamp overhead when you walk in, just brightening those up gives it a more fresh appearance, and not a lot of money on those things. You know, you can go to Home Depot or some of your stores out there that can pick up some of these. Some of them are discontinued models. You can get some really high-end stuff if you're shopping. You know, if you're a budgeter and you watch out there, there's a lot of opportunities. Online, there's a lot of opportunities as well. So keep that in mind. But the old dated fixtures itself really give that buyer not the fresh look. Remember, the last thing we want to look about is a project. We're not wanting a project, right? Paving. We do a lot of paving and sculptures. Make sure that you got to, if you have any asphalt or paving, if you need to maybe pop it with a new coat or shine it, that's always a possibility. Windows, spring cleaning, get the windows. I was showing a house to a client yesterday. We put it under contract. And she was more worried about where the seals broken because they were real cloudy, but they were just dirty. And so don't give buyers an opinion that the seals are broken. It's just dirt. Clean them. Spend the extra time in this season. Pop the windows out. Get them cleaned. Makes a big difference. Now, this is something that we're helping a client that's coming on the market, and we have it all types of properties. We've got some luxury properties that needs to be addressed with it, and then we have some resales. Our roofs. So our roofs are in really good shape, but we have a lot of trees, or if you have a lot of just debris out there hitting the roofs, and then they're staining the roofs over time. And there's some stains. I know you've seen these roofs are only a couple years old, but there's staining on the roof. So we have some vendors that actually kind of power wash or clean the roof and give it a fresh new look. For a couple $100 to have great curb appeal and a roof that's power washed, that gives it that powerful look. We did that on one that was, I think last year. They came over, and there was a lot of conversations that the owner had that they thought the roof was bad, and it wasn't. It was completely good shape. So we power washed it, gave it a good curb appeal, sold in days. So these are things that you can do. And then again, contact me if you need some of our vendors. We'll be glad to give you that information. You want to call me directly off the air, 693-7653, or go to ryancoleman.org, and all that information or my contact info will be there. So we talk about that on the roof, but I think that's overlooked more than you would think. So I know it can be a couple $100, but remember, guys, we're selling a very big product. We're imagination. When you guys made a purchase of your property, you did a lot of shopping. And we got always, I think the biggest thing our sellers do is remember, we're not the seller. We got to think in the buyer, right? You know, we got to picture ourselves in the buyer. We do a lot of property previews, and we do a lot of clients and help them across East Tennessee. And the first thing we do when we walk in and obviously have a conversation is we make a tour of the property. We like to walk through. And the first thing we're doing is making sure that we're touring that property, and I always try to do it in the eyes of a buyer or if they're with me. Because what happens is now that we can see how the buyer is going to envision it, and there's always two sides of that coin. And it puts us in a better perspective if we're looking at what the buyer is looking at. It's very hard sometimes if we're decluttered or don't have the presentation on the front to even for the buyers to have envision. You guys know that unless I'm not the easy creative guy, so I need to see things clean, it's hard for me to have the big vision. And sometimes that's with buyers with the big vision. They don't have a big vision. We have to walk them through the process. We have to imagine and see where things are at. And sometimes when it's cluttered or doesn't have the curb appeal, buyers say, well, it's a project and I don't want a project. Or I'm just not too much into the yard. But when we get them excited and we have great curb appeal and we've decluttered, now we're maximizing the whole house. We're showing buyers are thinking, wow, I'm going to put my living room suite over there, and that's where the kids can have their room. And see, that's the kind of environment. And so that's why we want our landscaping to get them to call us and make sure we have that impactful showing that we need. Mow, weed, and trim. Keep the lawn mowed, and all this is very kind of common stuff. Keep your shrubs, up to date. Keep them trimmed. You think that would be the norm, but I go to a lot of properties, believe it or not, and we don't have the shrubs. Put out some mulch this time of year, freshen it up. It's not much money. All these things I hope will help you get curb appeal. The best thing you guys can do before you put it on the market, you're thinking about tips to do, we cover all that. Call us out. We'd be glad to walk through the property with you, talk to you, free conversation. And let's look at that property, look at where the numbers are going here in the next couple months and what we can do to help you in one of the biggest moves you're going to make. Every week you listen to Real Estate with Ryan. We thank you guys so much. We got a new vlog coming out. Make sure you catch us on social media. As always, if you need us anything in real estate, it's an easy number. It's 693-7653. That's 693-SOLD. Or you can visit us on ryancoleman.org. Hope April will be here next week. Until next week, we'll see you. Have a great week.